Those days, Will used to have a melancholic gaze. Attending customers during the day and working the dungeons during the night was not an easy life.
There are many games out there that use dungeon crawling formula. However, Moonlighter is different. It provides us with two different roles to play. Instead of the normal hack and slash grinding, you also have to support a town called Renoka after the dungeons mysteriously appeared. To do this, you run the Moonlighter store during the day and explore the various dungeons at night to get goodies to sell in the morning. This process may sound repetitive and boring, but this game provides a fresh new look at both the dungeon crawling and shop owner mechanics. We have all played those games that make us want to go back for one more turn, make us dream about mistakes we made and what we could do to fix it. Have that music in our ear, just waiting for the end of your hard work day just so you can make your way back and return to that world. Moonlighter is this game. The music melds together with its 8-bit graphics, giving you a huge case of nostalgia. These features usually complement each other and give the player an immersive experience. You can tell the developers of the game put their heart and soul into the design and music. In Moonlighter, you fight in 5 dungeons. In 4, you need to get the keys to complete and get to the 5th dungeon. To help you fight in those dungeons, you have 2 weapon slots and 3 armor slots, the headband, chest armor, and shoes. Once you have opened Vulcan's Forge, you see that you have 4 melee weapons that you can use to help fight the enemies in the dungeon. It's all dependent on how you want to play because there are different styles, some that help hitting harder but have a slower speed, some that are quick but you have to be a lot closer to the enemy, others that give you a reach and keep you kind of far away from the enemy, and some that give you a way to defend with a shield, while others, and most importantly, the 5th weapon, a bow, which will help you fight even further back than any of the close melee weapons. This is definitely very helpful when fighting bosses or enemies that hit hard when you are very near them. I know that it helped save me sometimes whenever I was in dungeons or fighting bosses that I couldn't seem to beat. Of course, you can't survive in the dungeon without health potions. That is why we have the wooden hat. Here you can get potions and enchantments for your armor and weapons. You can either grind goods from the dungeons to get potions at a cheaper rate, or you can just pay outright with the potions with gold. The enchantments give you armor and weapons, either stronger defense for the armor or stronger attack for the weapons. This can greatly help in cases you may be stuck at a boss. I know for one it helped me get that extra edge, but this all costs gold. How do you get gold in this game? To do this, you must first run your shop by watching the 4 emotes that let you know if a customer is happy, sad, angry, or found a deal. Watching the customers react to your pricing is a fun mechanic to have. Just make sure to watch out for a thief that may take your goods. Here, we see a good example of a happy emote and a found a deal emote from our customers. The old lady, she was happy with her purchase. The guy down below, he made a good deal. When you finally start upgrading, you get more into dungeons. You can add a shop attendant that will help sell your goods while you're away for a small fee. This is definitely worth it once you get into the later levels and you're trying to beat the dungeons without dealing with any hardships. If you're still hurting for money, you can also farm the dungeons for quests that will give you money from parts gathered. Just make sure you don't sell those parts. Once you've gathered enough gold, you can start repairing Renoka. First, you go to the town board and check the town icon for upgrading the town, which gives you the forge, wooden hat, banker, hawker, and also the Lee retailer. Each has a unique way of helping, as we've already looked at the forge and wooden hat. At the same time, you can upgrade the shop up to 4 levels, the cash register, bed, sell box, and storage box to improve your services to sell goods. Now, for the dungeons. Each is unique in their locations. They are each procedurally generated, so each time you go into the dungeons, they are unique and set differently, so that way you never know the floor plan. Each feels fresh as we see the pools of healing right next to us at the beginning of that run. The combat is very complex and not easy at all. Each enemy poses a threat that can come at you at any angle. Being careless in the dungeons can cost you not only your loot, but your potential for more gold. Side note, the roll in the dungeon can save you from any crazy situation. The bosses were semi-hard, as I felt that they did not give a strong challenge once you figured out their patterns, except for the forest boss here, and the desert boss, as they both had extra attacks that the other bosses didn't seem to have. There are tricks to defeat the bosses by using a shield or standing in the right location by dodging. However, the trick is to get to the point where you know how to do this. Some of the negatives about the game is that after the game has been playing for quite a while, once you get to the later dungeons, you notice that the grind is continuing to be the same over and over again. Also, the story is very shallow. Once you beat a boss, you talk with the old man who looks over you as he warns you again not to challenge the bosses, which we all know you will. Sadly, the trailers make it seem like there's a grandiose story when there is not a real story. Also, I feel like the developers really missed an opportunity to tell a story through the people that are in the town of Renoko itself. Sadly, there's really no interaction beside a few sentences with the people that come into your store when you're in the town. Due to this, once you beat the game, there really is no content afterwards. Overall, Moonlighter is a great game to play. All features of this game truly complement each other and provide the player with an immersive experience. However, I would definitely wait till you see it on sale in Steam or somewhere else. This is because once you get the mechanics down, the actual fighting in the game is incredibly easy to figure out, and also the lack of a compelling story. Despite the negative points I just mentioned, I would give the game an 8 out of 10. It has a great shop mechanic and the dungeons are fun to play. Sometimes I catch myself still humming the catchy music from this game. Thank you everyone for tuning in for my Moonlighter review. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. This is the Steel Grizzly, hoping you have a wonderful day.